Right, we've come up today because just up here
we're just going to concentrate on looking for a grasshopper wobbler today, aren't we?
Aye, because we did see it about 3 days ago. We're now roughly where its little breeding territory is.
We've had a bit look to see kind of what sort of stuff the nest is.
We've sort of done a bit of research on them on the internet and in books, and we know what we're looking for now. Because we never get them up here. It's the first time we've actually seen them.
It's the first time I've seen them.
Must have been the warm spring what we've had.
Probably get them, but not.
I've never even heard them before though.
Very often.
And we've, I don't know how many years we've been.
We're not saying we will find it late, but we're going to have a go.
Ah, we're going to have a look. Plus, I just want some good film of it as well at the same time, because I got a little bit last week, but it was really shaky, wasn't it? So
you'll have to get stabilising.
Aye.
Stabilising.
I was just looking at that. It looks like a bit of a nest or something on the side of it. Don't know if it's been pulled out or
if it looks like a bit of a wreck, like.
Aye. It's all the moss. It's at the beginnings or the end of one. Right, we're at the place where we're seeing the grasshopper warbler. It was just in there.
I can't see or hear any sign of it at the minute, like, but
no, but it could be sitting. So we're gonna walk around and come in. See if we can, see if we can see any signs of it. See if we can find it. It's quiet today, but that's a good sign. It could be sitting on eggs. Right. Right, we've just came away from where the grasshopper warbler was.
No, I've seen it, I heard it, I know. So
no.
We've just crossed.
We've come off into the top meadow. We've lifted a couple as we've walked down, but
that looks like that's what's been pulled out, doesn't it?
It's like moss and grass.
So it's definitely probably foxes, not it's got feathers and stuff. Would it be foxes? It could be
anything. Foxes especially on here, like. That probably wasn't that just because the skylark doesn't have much of a nest like that.
But, I think it's going to be one of them deers, isn't it?
Aye. There's a lot of them. I can see about 5 in front of us.
I think it's probably just that week. It's all hard to think. You've just got to turn in and just. Good look, really, isn't it? Like you spot them.
They are hard to spot, like, because they're well hidden.
Kids love ladybirds, pick them up and that. If it was a black beetle, they probably wouldn't.
No,
touch it.
It is just the same, isn't it? There was the last time we came across here, we lifted a few pigeons on this area.
It's got to be bad.
It's gonna soon terrible. I'll turn the camera off till we see out. Aye. Hard to see, but just in there's a little grey rabbit.
Has it got mixed? Because it's just sitting normally run off like
its eyes look alright, like.
It looks alright.
It looked alright.
Yeah.
It's a weird colour. You know, they normally. But like, there's a lot of sets here, like.
One of them.
It's always nice to see them.
We've just come out in the field, having a little look around this little bit of
the little pasture. We're going to get into the plantation once we walk our way up here. Because we're seeing out in the meadow and that, because it was way too windy in there. It's windy now.
You often get days on your way. You can't be looking every day, can you?
No. We'll try. We always like to try and get something in the video.
At least if you get one
nest. That's what our goal is, to get at least one.
You always get the days where you didn't come across it.
Now up through there, it's like a little tiny grass nest. It's about the size of a black cap type thing. But it's really up in the tops.
Can't even get into it, is it?
I can't quite see. can just see the little clump through there. It's a little grassy nest. It is about the size of the black caps or the white throats or whatever, but it's very unusual, about 8 or 9 foot off the ground. Might even be a little goldfinch, I don't know. It's about the right height for one, like. Aye.
It's awful.
Now it's flew out of it, I'm going to see if I can get in and get the camera up above it on the tripod and that and look in.
Good luck with that one,
I know. We're going to leave that for another day. We cannot get it. It's just too high up. We'll just leave it. It's on the edge of the thin branches. That looks like the nest being pulled out of here. There's a lot of feathers and stuff there. There's a lot of predation going on. Not sure if it's been a little hedge sparrows or something. You can just see it on the top of the hill there. It's stopped like,
it's a big one and all that, isn't it?
It's a big stag way, you know, the male one.
Is that male one or
I forget, is it the follower?
Follower rod and all that.
They're gone again.
Keep stopping and having a look at it.
That's probably gonna have a young. It's stopping to look at it all the time, it's just there. Yeah, there's another one.
Alright.
I wonder if it's got a young one in here somewhere.
Possible.
It's up there looking, doing it, we're still on the top of the hill.
Because normally it would just be off, wouldn't it?
Aye.
The other ones who stand there, they look a bit.
They look. That's the female one, that one, the little one. That's the big male one. Because it's got the antlers on it.
You can see at the back there. It's stopping like that. I think you can just see the heat to the top of the
they both came from just over there. So we're gonna have like, we're walking up here because we've seen a couple of partridges jump out up here. That's the only reason we're up here. And it's the ideal little place for one. Looking around to see if them deer are still kicking around. Oh, there's another one. Partridge. Little partridge. Aye. You'd think them deer would have scared that out, mind. Did you see roughly? I've got the camera on record, like. Aye. Did they just nest in the grass like this? I have one on a field one year, like when I was playing cricket, when I was someplace where I was working.
Top of that temperature, more nearly on top of it.
Aye. It is the ideal place for one.
So will there still be like tucked under the grass or?
Like just how you find a pheasant's nest. Right, just similar to that, just a bunch of eggs. Not even much of a nest. I mean, if it's there, we'll see it, like. That's the third one we've seen. Well, we came back from doing there where we've seen the partridges and the deer, and we walked up into that field to see if we could lift any partridges over there. We've had a good walk around doing there. Couldn't find out really, but as we've just came back here, spotted magpies. We just heard the magpies.
It's not high, but that was really hard to get in.
You would never be able to get up it, aye.
Top of the thorn.
So It's a shame.
I did you see a magpie fly across the
Aye.
floor?
Right, so we'll get into the wood. Well, that's the birch tree where the carrion crows was last year, and it's totally gone. Gone completely. And this is the remains of last year's pheasant's nest. You can see the eggshells.
No wonder, like us.
It's not even much of a nest, is it? When like within the year, it's gone.
See them all there.
We've heard them a few times in here when we've been up here this year.
Oh, could be in it, but like you said, they sit really tight because you nearly stood on
I was standing where you're, just like.
It took some.
This hasn't grown much since last year. It seems doomed still. Normally you can't walk through this at this time of the year.
It's a bit deep, isn't it?
Aye. It's still like as if it was early in the year. We're not even seeing any of the little birds' nests, what we're generally finding it. Yeah. Right, we've just come into here because we heard a black cap, but just down there's a little baby rabbit.
It's kind of, it looks dead, but it's not, I'm sure. It's stuck, but we can't get in.
We don't know what's wrong with it. It's not stuck like.
Oh yeah, we can't get in today because it's over a fence and
a ton of bramble.
But I feel sorry for the poor thing because it's obviously...
It's not very old.
In pain or something like that. There's no way to do it though. And even if you got it out there, I think... I don't know what's
I think it's dying. We've come across a lot of dying or dead, you know. It's definitely dying, like.
Feel sorry for the poor
thing. No, I know, it's terrible. There's not a lot we can do with it. Because I thought it was a squirrel from back there, just looking at the little... Cause it's even Nixie, it shouldn't be dying at that age, I didn't think. There's a lot of tiny little ones that we're coming across that are dying. Heard a black cap in here, that's what I came in for. We're sitting up the tree singing. I'll put the camera back on in a minute, it's a bit awkward. Well, we've come down through here, through all these brambles and that, and still never found out.
You know how it's one of them days that we get them.
Aye.
But we had a good walk from here, but...
Yeah, we've checked a lot, we've seen quite a few like birds, we've seen the deer as well, partridges. We haven't seen partridges very often like that, so that was a new thing. We spent a good couple of hours and come across any nests with eggs. Any nests with anything really.
It's one of them. When we get it next to it, I think. Maybe to have a look at the moors or something, do you think?
We'll do a moor walk. We'll go up and check other quarries. Because that should be full on nesting now.
I will do that.
Aye. Right, so once again, thank you for watching, and we'll get some more on.